Hi everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys today? I am excited to bring you this really fun card. It is super beautiful. I love it. You can see the inside from the outside. As you can see there, the gingham is actually on the inside of the card, and it is a really fun card. So we're going to use a few products. We're using the Merriest Moments bundle. It has dies. And it also has this amazing hybrid folder. I'm going to show you how to use that today. So let me just move it out of the way temporarily and clear off my area, and we can get started here. All right, so as you can see on the main card here, we are going to be stamping and cutting out with a punch. The color is Soft Succulent, and we are going to go ahead and get that started. So let's go ahead and ink that up. It's actually easier, in my opinion, if you punch it first. So let's go ahead and do that and get that punched out, because it's a rather large area that we have here, and so it's not really hard to line it up. If it was tight, it'd be different, but it's not. So let me bring it down so I can see a little better right here to the bottom. And we're going to go ahead and stamp that to the center here. A joyful Christmas to you and yours. It's a really beautiful sentiment for the front of your card. I'm just going to set it off to the side. Our card front is a regular 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock. And I have cut 3/4 of an inch once I have scored it in half. So I scored it at 4 1/4. And then I took one side and I opened it on my trimmer and I cut 3/4 of an inch off. And I cut 3/4 of an inch so that you could see the inside from the outside. And then I have cut a piece of designer series paper. This is actually from Pansy Petals. So the other side has leaves, but we are going to be attaching that right here to the inside of our card, and then it will show. Now this piece is 1 by 5.5. So it's a 1 inch piece by 5.5. So let's go ahead and we're going to stamp the inside of the card because we're stamping, so we might as well just get that part out of the way, and then we can do the other parts. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up and put it right here in the center. I know it looks blue, but it's because I've used this for some reds, and the stamp took on that lovely pink tone. See, you can see it's green. So let's go ahead and close that up and be done with our stamping part of our project. All right, let me get my stamp cleaner. All right. The words are done. Okay, so now this top section, let me hold the card up. It has been embossed with a folder as well. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to work on this portion right here. So let me show you. The folder that I used is called Tasteful Textiles, and it is amazing. Tasteful Textile. I love the texture that it gives this piece, and so I want that to be on the front. So I'm going to go ahead and line it up in here. And Stampin' Up has given us this little line right here, so I kind of use that as my guide when I am putting pieces in here to make sure that they're straight. I kind of put them along that line there, and then I know that I'm good to go. So let's go ahead and run this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Here it is. Hopefully I'm not sliding my desk mat around. So in order to do a 3D embossing folder, which is what we're going to do, we need plate number 1 and plate number 4 with the sandwich in the middle. This is the sandwich that we've made. So that's going to go like so. And then we're going to go ahead and put our number 4 plate over the top. And we will give it a nice little pull. It's going to make quite a noise when it gets to the end. There it is, as it pops out. I'm going to leave this out because we're going to use it for our next part. But I just want to show you that beautiful texture. It's harder to see on white, so hopefully you guys can see it, but it is super pretty. I really like that Tasteful Textiles. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to die cut this really gorgeous shimmer vellum in the in colors. This is the soft succulent piece. It comes in all the new in colors. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, in order to get a very detailed die, it's a little bit of a process. So we're going to first start by embossing and die cutting a piece out, and then we will pull it out of there and we are going to add a second die to it. So when you buy this die set, you get quite a bit of dies that are included, and so we're going to use this large one first with the embossing folder, and then we're going to use this detailed one second after it comes out of that embossing folder. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and lock it into place, and there's a groove here, and as long as you find where it fits, it's on the side that says Stampin' Up, it's gonna fit in there and not really move around, so it's kind of locked in place. Then we're going to take right here and we are going to put it, it's a quarter sheet that I have here, I'm going to put it in here as best I can and try and get as much of it as possible, and I'm gonna bring that die down onto it like so, and then we are going to put it through just like if it was without the die in it. So we're going to use number 1 and number 4. So let's go ahead and crank that through. I'll show you what you get. So when you open this up, this has cut, we don't need that right now, but it has cut away the outer portions of the vellum. There's a couple more here. One more right here. And it has also embossed our piece. Okay? So we are going to now move this out of the way. We're going to bring our cutting plate number 1. We're also going to add number 2 because we're getting ready to use a die without an embossing folder. So we're going to take this die, it's detailed, and we're going to line it up so that it locks into place with this detailed die. And we're going to take plate number 3, which is the one that we cut onto. So that is the third one. And then we're going to put our sandwich. This happens to be our sandwich this time. And the second number 3. And we're going to go ahead and crank that through. Hopefully, like I said, I'm not moving my mat around on you, but it may be happening. Okay, so when we pull this off, that's our detailed die. We're going to pull this piece, and it's a long skinny piece that works its way around. It kind of gives you that outline area. And as it pulls away, you see how it cuts out these areas in here as well. There are some that are still in there. We just have to poke them out. There they are. And there, oops, one more. I think we got them all now. There is our die. And then these little scraps can go into the trash. Let me get everything ready for the trash can and get my die cut machine out of the way here. Let me pull just this plate off, and I will toss them into my trash can right here next to my desk. Isn't that a beautiful die? I really love this set. I think it is gorgeous. But I'm still not done altering it. So what we're going to do now is we are going to cut straight down between these pieces. So in order to do it, I'm going to use my paper snips here. And I am going to cut around this piece and have it be a separate little piece so that it's separated from this area here with this more pine-like foliage. And I think there's a couple pieces in here that need to be pushed through. I have to grab my take your pick tool out because this is really the best. I missed a couple, I guess. So we're gonna cut straight across from here to here. I'm just gonna use my small paper trimmer. I have a small guillotine trimmer. And so I'm gonna go ahead and line this up in my trimmer. So it's gonna go in between these pieces right here and in between this piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it this direction. I'm gonna put that underneath the blade because I don't want that to be cut. And it's gonna be right here, straight across as best I can, and it should get it about even. That's about the halfway point. And if it's not perfect, it's okay because we're gonna overlap them. So I'm just gonna slide this through. All right, so now I have two pieces. I'm gonna lay one on top of the other, like so. And that is how I've gotten my frame right here. So let's go ahead and move my guillotine cutter out of the way. And now we're gonna run a line of adhesive. I'm gonna grab my seal adhesive here. And I believe that I glued it this direction last time. Yeah, I layered the larger leaves over the top of the other. And this one kind of got cut off. So I'm just going to go ahead and eliminate it completely. No one will know that it was supposed to be there. I just trim that away. And I will just trim this little greenery piece to make it look like it was just that one. Oops, sorry. Like it was just that one branch there. So I'm just going to trim that up. No one will be the wiser. And since it's overlaid, there'll be plenty of foliage up there. So this one is going to go on top of this one like so. So let me put a line of seal right down the middle here. And that will help hold the two pieces together. So I'm going to go ahead and connect those, and I'm going to glue it so that this bottom section is near the edge, like that, just like that. Now I'm not worried about this little tear in here because, like I said, I'm going to be putting this Joyful Christmas over the top. So as you can see here, this is glued with some dimensionals to the back. So I'm going to go ahead and put a couple dimensionals on the back of this piece. We'll put some down there. We'll put a few up here, like so. Move that in a little bit more because I don't want those to show. Move it over a little bit. There we go. And we'll pull these pieces off. I like to use the take your pick tool, although sometimes they pop out without it. But the take your pick tool works really well to pull the backs off, and it keeps all four of them together. You can throw them right into the trash can so they don't end up on your craft room floor. So let's go ahead and have our card here. We're going to flip this around, and I'm going to apply it so that that foliage is right on the edge of my card and that the sides are about even. It's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. We don't need it to be perfect. And see how you can't really tell the one that I cut off because they're overlapped. Now you're saying, well, I can see this adhesive. It's going to be covered because we're getting ready to attach our label, and then that will cover that adhesive in the middle. So it works out really well to have a nice coverage for our piece. And I'm going to go ahead and put 4. I'm being overly generous, but I do want it to stick and stay stuck. All right. So this is going to get attached on top like so. And I'm gonna let it hang down about there. That looks good to me. I hope it looks good to you guys. Just like that. Now, we're gonna put our gingham on the inside. So let me find it. I've lost it on my desk here when I've been moving stuff around. Let's see. Let's see, there it is. So we're gonna go ahead and attach our gingham. And this strip is gonna go on the inside. I really love gingham. I think it's such a pretty, I'm gonna actually turn it this way. I like this small little edge at the bottom, like that. And I do cut it a little bit longer than it needs to be, just to make sure that it does reach all the way. So I will trim that excess off with my paper snips. That's what we have so far. And then the last step is going to be to attach the wonderful gems, and they come in red with some gold inside of them and some clear, and I'm going to use the clear ones. So I'm going to grab my take your pick tool. This time I'm going to use the putty side, and we're going to put a large one over here, and then we're going to do another large one up here and a small one down, maybe right, I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, I think I want it on this side. Put it right there. There we go. So there is our card. A really elegant looking Christmas card, if I do say so myself. I think it's super pretty. Very simple. The star of the show are the dies. I think they make the whole card, because look at how gorgeous that shimmery vellum is in that pretty soft succulent color. And it has that glistening to it. So I hope that you enjoyed this project. I'm kind of new to YouTube, so I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. I would appreciate that. You'll get notifications of when I post new videos. Ask your friends to subscribe too. Don't forget to like and comment. If you have any questions, please put them down below. I would love to hear from you, and check out my blog, Inky Hands Warm Hearts. The description is below, so it's linked down there, so check it out. And thanks again for watching, guys. It's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!